So, all right. So, I guess take one step back of what the heck a tax lien is. For those, so, all right. So, an owner doesn't pay their property taxes, right? Um, well, at least in today's world, I've been told there's two things that are guaranteed, taxes and death, right? Those taxes is real estate taxes. And if you don't pay those, counties today, right? I think this holds probably everywhere nationwide. They need to balance their budget. They don't have like billions of dollars in a fund that they just go pull from, right? They need that money to pay policemen, to pay firemen, to pay teachers, to pave the roads, right? They got to operate. And so what they do is if you don't pay your taxes, they put a lien on your property, right? And then they basically turn around and sell that lien to an investor, right? And basically what the investor does is give the county what they're due from a tax perspective. And then that lien, with the carries a penalty, and that penalty comes in the form of an interest rate. And so when it's like 98% of property owners do come forward and pay their taxes, they pay the original amount due plus the penalty, which is an interest rate. And that interest is what ends up going to the investor.
So that's where in Montana, you were saying it's only 10%, so it's not even as good as some other places. So when you're buying this, it's almost like you're going to get paid eventually, ideally. Is that what is kind of?
From a lien standpoint, that's the goal. There used to be, until recently, there was a Supreme Court case that came forward in the last 2 years called Tyler versus Hennepin. But used to be there were some states that allowed you to, if you own that lien, right, and after 2-3 years, if nobody paid it off, you could essentially convert that lien into a deed, and so you in theory could own the property for the amount of taxes. Now, Tyler Hennepin Supreme Court case basically said that model is not constitutional, and the states that had that mechanism have most of them have, and the others are on track to change their statutes so that doesn't exist anymore, right? So there has to be a different mechanism for selling the property through a foreclosure action.